Welcome back to episode 3 of an aviation day out of fun. It's noon and I'm arriving at the Raleigh Executive Jetport, also known as the Sanford Lee County Airport. I've flown here today to catch up with and to get some lunch with my sister, and to also go to downtown Sanford, North Carolina and do a bit of exploring. So let's park this thing, and if I'm not mistaken, that looks like my sister over there by the fence. Alright, Flying Brian has made it to Sanford. Alright, we're gonna go get some lunch. Check out what this town is all about. We are in search of a restaurant that people at the airport recommended somewhere along this road. Alright, we're going to Jeff and Lisa's. It was highly recommended by the people at the airport. Let's go in and see what kind of food they're serving. Jeff and Lisa's Brickhouse Grill is located at 1401 Colon Road, about halfway between the airport and the town of Sanford. They are open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., so they are strictly a breakfast and lunch only restaurant. And as it turned out, they were a great place for a casual, good quality lunch with a nicely varied menu. And we've made it to downtown Sanford. Look at that great looking old train station house behind me. Behind that, I don't know if you can see it, there is a locomotive back there. We're going to go look at both of those. The home date's from 1872. And was originally built for the railroad depot agent for what was at the time the Raleigh and Augusta Airline Railroad. It's the oldest house in Sanford. Nowadays it houses a historical museum. Depot Park Walk of Fame. Joni Martin, WFJA. And there's the old rail depot in the distance. This sign flanks the entrance and explains that the depot dates from 1910. Also flanking the entrance is this Boone Trail Highway marker. These were erected across the country in the early 1900s by a man named Joseph Rich, who took it upon himself to keep the memory of Daniel Boone and his pioneering spirit alive. Over the years, many of these markers have been lost. Around 60 still survive, this being one of them. Take a look at that. Great old steam locomotive. Yeah, number 12. Fantastic. Look at that. Looks like they don't want us in there. No trespassing. This old steam locomotive was built in 1911 up in Philadelphia by the Baldwin Locomotive Works and entered service with the Raleigh and Southport Railroad as engine number 203. She weighs in at 74 tons and is commonly referred to as a 280 engine, or 2 leading wheels, 8 drive wheels, and no trailing wheels. The Raleigh-Southport Railroad eventually became the Norfolk Southern Railroad, where she served until being sold to the Atlantic and Western Railroad in 1947. She was renumbered to number 12 and regularly ran the line that once ran between Lillington and Sanford, North Carolina. After 44 years of service, the engine was retired in 1955 and would never again pull a rail car. Now she spends her days here in the park, looked after by the town of Sanford. As I mentioned, the station building was built in 1910. I love the style and architecture of these old rail stations. Looking inside, it appears the depot is now used as office space. Sanford was established at a junction in 2 railroad lines and grew up around this junction. And while the railroad no longer plays a central role in the town, it still runs through its center. And as luck would have it, a northbound freight is heading our way. Sanford grew up around this railway crossroads. It was formally incorporated in 1874 with barely a population of 200 people. What I like about this place is it still has an abundance of vintage buildings that date from the early 20th century. The Sanford Buggy Factory, 1907, now repurposed as offices. That looks like it was the original Coca-Cola bottling factory. Here at the corner of Wicker and Steel Streets is this fantastic mural. It was painted in honor of 3 Sanford citizens that were glider pilots during World War II. Very nice. Bucky Williams, Lee Perry, and Frank Blaylock. Those are Waco CG-4 gliders painted with the D-Day invasion stripes. Here's a building from the 1920s era. The Seymour Building, which is now a furniture store. It's a hot August afternoon and we just ran across the Fairview Dairy Bar. And it's a perfect day for an ice-cold strawberry milkshake. It was delicious. Here's another building that caught my eye. Bowen, Lincoln, Ford, and Fordson. The Fordson brand name dates the building to before 1920. I absolutely love these old buildings and architecture. Fantastic. It is getting late in the day and I need to think about getting home. So I bid my sister goodbye, fire up 9-8 Juliet Golf, and set a course for the Monroe Airport. Folks, that will do it for this video. And remember, life is a journey. Enjoy the ride and thanks for watching.